You're going to run it back with Nate. Kamaru was talking about Conor McGregor, saying you don't want the fight anymore. Can you clear the air for us? What is going on?
What is going on? Well, Kamaru, who's asked for an insane amount of money, he had one of the worst pay-per-view cards of 2019. I had the best. This is by numbers. It's not an opinion. I had the most sold pay-per-views of 2019. So he thinks he's hit the jackpot, and he was asking crazy money for the UFC. The UFC's told him no on several occasions. But this kind of goes back before that. Before me and Nate fought the first time, when Colby was giving him trouble, I stepped in because they called me. They go, would you fight Usman on 6 weeks' notice? I said yes. Usman said no. Who stepped in? Nate Diaz. Now, this thing comes about, and he's asking for a crazy amount of money because he thinks since he's fighting the star at 170 that he's going to get paid that. But you got to bring in your worth, man. You don't get that, you know? You had the women's greatest champion that ever lived, the most talked about woman in our history, Amanda Nunes. You had Max Holloway, Volkanovski on the card, and a good undercard besides that, and they still had one of the worst draws ever because of Usman's whack ass. So how are you going to demand all this crazy money and then get upset when the UFC don't want to give it to you? You know, and he gave it away. He's talking about if the price is right. Well, they don't feel that the price is right. They don't want to pay him that money, you know? So what can I do? And the fight's going to happen, man, because that's the fight I want, man. That's going to happen. It's just he's making it tough. The UFC's making it a little bit tough, but it's what the fans want. It's what you want. It's what I want, you know? It's going to happen. I'm going to get money. If not, it's going to be Nate Diaz, man, and then I'll mess up Usman's face come November. But it's going to happen, you know?
I'm seeing all these reports that you've been removed from the American Top Team website. Are you no longer affiliated with that team?
That is correct. I'm affiliated with Colby Covington Incorporated as of now. You know, I'm my own team, you know. Dan, I love Dan. Dan Lambert is still a great friend to me. He's a mentor. He's a second father to me. Dan Lambert gave me an opportunity. I can't thank him enough. You know, he's good people, but it's time to move on, Ariel. Everybody knows all good things come to an end. I fulfilled my debts there. You know, I was there for 10 years. I started my MMA journey there at American Top Team. And, you know, we went to the top. You know, Dan Lambert has everything. He's got UFC belts. He's got WEC belts. He's got Pride belts. He's got WWE belts. But, you know, what I feel accomplished as a fighter going there and being able to do something that he's never done before, I was able to take him to the White House. So I feel like I fulfilled my debts and we had a great run together. But, you know, it's time to move on. You know, it's you know, we're evolving, we're growing. And you know, just like the saying goes, Ariel, the sun sets, the sun rises, the caterpillar turns into the butterfly.
I didn't think that we're going to be talking about this fight at this point, but I knew that it's going to happen at some point. So yes, now than ever, I believe this fight is going to happen. Maybe not now, but it's going to happen. There's no way that this fight is not happening.
Why did you feel like it was going to happen, that it was inevitable?
It's such a big fight. It's such a big challenge. I mean, either for me or for Jon, it's just a big challenge. And a fan has been so excited about this fight. I mean, if they care about fans a little bit, there's no way this fight is not going to happen.
And I'll break this right here, right now, and my people are probably going to kill me for this one. But, you know, Cejudo has retired. So we're talking right now about PetrYan versus Jose Aldo for the vacant title. And, you know, we don't have a date or a place set for that, but that's the fight we're looking at right now.
If it's a Conor fight or a Nate Diaz fight or something like that, then now it's a person that has more name recognition than myself. Now that motivation to try to capture some of their fans that becomes a great motivating factor. But in this situation is really just the performance itself. Because when you look at Gilbert Burns, like his manager put something else. Fun fact: Gilbert's 9-3, and Tyron's 8-3. Don't ever compare his record to mine. I'm 9-3 against world-class fighters. I've never lost to somebody that wasn't a world champion or wasn't a world title challenger. That's facts. You look at my resume: Jake Shields, Roy McDonald, Kamaru Usman, Nate Marquardt. So when you try to compare the victories you've had, wins and losses, they're non-comparable because the quality of opponents are not even on the same stratosphere. If it's a Conor fight or a Nate Diaz fight or something like that, then now it's a person that has more name recognition than myself.
Funny story I even said at my last fight, nobody wants to fuck with Francis. Paulo was acting up. You know how he got kicked out? He was acting up, misbehaving, acting a fool. And at one point, Dan told me this. Dan Hooker told me this. It's like Paulo sacked it to Francis because Francis told him to shut the fuck up. That his last fight wasn't that great anyways. And he just shut up and didn't even make eye contact. He just like...
What, he said that to Paulo?
Yeah. He's like, hey, Paulo, shut up. Your last fight wasn't even that good anyway. And he was like... He just ignored him like he didn't hear it. Everyone in the fucking front row heard it, and everyone saw him shit his pants. So no one wants to fuck with Francis.
I don't even consider Henry Cejudo for any fights. Period. He's retired. You know, if you start talking about Volkanovski, we're talking about Max Holloway. Ortega and the Korean Zombie are going to fight. You know how I just went out and said for the Ferguson fight against Gaethje, I said I absolutely, positively guarantee you that this fight will be great. That's the same thing with Brian Ortega versus the Korean Zombie. There's no way that fight is boring, and the guy that comes out of that fight would be next in line for a title shot. But right now, you know, we've been talking about the rematch with Volkanovski and Holloway.
Usman and put his stuff out is just fake news, and this is the real stuff. I'll tell you right now, if it is so real, why doesn't he have a signed bout agreement with the date on it, all that stuff, and post it online? Since you've signed, since you're so ready to go, because he talks about I was ready on this date, on that date. On no occasion did he ever sign the bout agreement. He's never signed the bout agreement. He's never even agreed on money to them. He just says, yeah, I'll fight. He asked for money. They're telling me either yes or no, and that's it. It is somewhat of a business, you know. He's gonna try to act like he's a tough guy and stuff, but he's not. You know, he's been talking about he's a knockout machine. He knocked out the Fragile dude, man. Don't nobody care about that dude. That dude's been finished twice in the UFC. Why are you bragging about him? You know, he knocked out a wrestler. They can't knock nobody out. They can't take a hit. So what is the big about? You know, it's gonna happen, but it's not gonna be in his terms, like I've said from the start. And he's so desperate that, you know, he'll just be sitting cage side there when I run it back with Nate again with his mouth wide open, like, oh, he's my biggest fan, my biggest groupie.
In the most recent days, you have Usman and even his manager saying, well, maybe Conor McGregor would be the guy we want to fight next. From a promotional standpoint, how does Usman v. McGregor compare to Usman v. Masvidal?
Listen, the next title fight for Usman is going to be one of these guys. It's going to be Colby, Masvidal, Edwards. It's going to be one of those guys. It's not going to be Conor McGregor.
Well, I mean, and in fairness to Usman, that was sparked by, again, what he says and what he means may be different things, but Masvidal seems keen on looking toward a BMF title defense, facing Nate Diaz again. What is your appetite to see the BMF title defense, see that fight run back?
I would rather see the UFC title be defended than the BMF title. Anything's possible, but those are the fights that make sense right now.
But I'm still in love with you. Oh,
Falling in and out of love, in and out of love with you. Falling in and out of